Kissing Frogs podcast is all about the fun side of dating the wrong people. Ever been on that really bad first date or dated a total douchebag? Well, instead of crying about it, laugh about it. Come share your stories on Kissing Frogs podcast and tell us if you made it through all these frogs and found your prince or princess. Hi, my name is Tiffany Hill, and welcome back to Kissing Frogs. You can find us on kissingfrogspodcast.com or all other podcast streaming services. And I would like to welcome Sasha to our second episode of Kissing Frogs. How are you, Sasha?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you coming here. We're super excited to have you here. Tell us about you.
So I have like a little small Instagram blog. You can find me at Straight Up Sasha on Instagram, and then I am also starting like a little clothing line now at Dama Detroit is the name of it. It's also the Instagram name.
Okay, awesome. And what is your clothing line exactly about? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so I'm still kind of in like the beginning phases of it, but there are like a few things that were really important to me. I wanted it to be fast fashion is like a really big issue right now. So with all like the waste it produces and like sweatshops, so I would just want everything that's produced to be like at least somewhat sustainably made and like sweatshop free. And then I'm like huge on traveling. I lived in Europe for almost a decade. I speak a few languages. It's like a big thing for me. So I wanted it to kind of incorporate that. Like Detroit is getting more and more international.
Right.
So yeah, just to kind of like blend those two things, and so it's still like definitely a work in progress.
Okay, so you are like literally the whole package. You got beauty. Wait till y'all see this, y'all. You have beauty, brains. You have it all going. You speak languages, like a gorgeous smile. So we are on this journey to talk about the fun side of dating the wrong people. And girl, I know we've all been there, right? We've all dealt with complete assholes. Dates, bad dates, long-term relationships, long-distance relationships that just don't work out, and that's okay. You know, it's fine. And so you're here to tell us a story about a dating experience or a relationship that just has gone completely south, and you are here to laugh about it. I know, right?
Like, it was hard because I was like, there's so many I can choose from. I don't know.
Girl, I am betting 1,000. Do not worry about it. But yes, so share one of your fabulous, funny stories about dating the wrong people.
Okay, so I did like think like for a minute about this because like there's so many. How do I choose? Yeah, I think when I have to choose one that would be like most relatable to people, I went like it was a few years ago. I was talking to this guy through Bumble, and like he seemed super nice. He was like a medical resident, like so obviously super motivated, intelligent. It just seemed so sweet, like nerdy, but like really nice, and was very like, oh, where do you want to go to eat? Like, let's go downtown. Like, really want to get to know you. Sounds so interesting. Like, I love traveling too. He wasn't from here. He's from like the Middle East, and I was like, okay, like that's always really interesting to me. Had lived abroad as well, not just in the U.S. So I was like, wow, okay, that sounds great. So we like,
sorry, I'm coughing so bad right now. Right.
So we end up just seemed like the nicest guy in the world, like super family oriented. We like go out to eat and it was fine. Like we were at some nice place downtown. Then he was just like very like, I'm a kind of like standoffish woman. Like I don't like when people are very, especially on the first date, like don't like try to like touch me and like I don't know you. Like that's weird. It's just not my thing at all. And very much like to the waiter, you know, like, oh, we don't want that table. We want the booth where we can sit next to each other,
so
kind of thing.
Okay, so you're around some bougie ass dude.
Right, and it's just like, I don't know
who's
you.
the girl here, right?
Right?
Come on now.
Sure, like that was the first thing, and then like I didn't really like. I know this sounds terrible, and I'm not saying like I'm the most fascinating person in the world, but I just remember being like, this guy like thinks he's the most fascinating, like interesting guy that's ever walked the earth. And then we go to leave, and it was at like the first snow of the season where it's that like wet, like rain type snow.
Yes.
Where like your hair is wet. So I don't even want to be outside. It's not that pretty snow. It's like you're literally just getting soaked, like as if you're in the rain. It's not romantic. And like trying to like, my lashes are probably falling off.
The mascara,
my
the
makeup
eyeliner,
is running. And
exactly.
I'm like, this is not romantic. This is terrible.
Yeah, Detroit
like,
weather is like so unpredictable.
It's so unpredictable.
So
and it was terrible. I was
know.
just like freezing. And then he's like trying to make out with me, but it was like awful.
Ew.
Like it was just like awful. Like not only because of the weather that was like already made it awful, but then it was like, you know, when you see those movies where it's like this has to be a joke. It's like the mama bird feeding the baby bird. Like his tongue is like firmly implanted in my throat.
This is like not the Notebook.
My neck is like sprained
Right.
because it's like weirdly like tipped back, and it was like this is like not romantic. Like this is terrible. Like even at like 18 I wouldn't accept this, but at like, you know, at the time I was like 25, I was like, what is this? Do you think this is like normal that people kiss like this? He's like grabbing my neck. I'm just like, get off of me.
Did he have bad breath?
He did not, but everything else about it was terrible. That would have completed it, though.
Oh, okay.
Because I literally was like, okay, this is terrible. I clearly can never see this man again. Like, if you're already that bad at, like, kissing and you're, like, you know, approaching 30, like, there's no hope for you.
Right,
like, that's
exactly.
It's not going to go up from there.
So I know it really doesn't matter, you know, because we're in Detroit and, you know, black and white differences. But was he black or white?
He was Middle Eastern.
Okay, so did he have like the luscious lips, or he had like the no lip thing where we're like, okay, you're going to have to get some fillers, like kiss me really good.
I don't
like,
even remember it because I just remember being like, get your tongue out of my throat. Like I don't even know if I felt his lips because it was just like his tongue was like firmly. Yeah, it was so disturbing.
Right.
It was just terrible.
Sorry, because I've kissed a few guys and they have like no upper lip, and it's just like, oh
just,
my
like,
god,
terrible.
like if I could get you like a pair of some fat, juicy like lips, we would be all golden.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm kissing like your gums and then like your bottom of your lip.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're feeling bone. You're like, I don't think this is how it's supposed to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh yeah. So like I was already like, this is never happening again. This is terrible. And he took that as like, oh, this is like, she's so into me. Like, I'm amazing. Like, I'm going to be a doctor. Like, who wouldn't be into all this? So he had like texted me. He knew I lived in like the Dearborn area. And he like texted me like a few days later being like, I think I'd like gone home from work earlier. It was after, I think I was still going to school. So it was after class. And then he had texted me being like, oh, what are you up to? And I was like I'm at home. I don't really like feel that well. And he was like, oh, great. Like, I just got done with my shift at the hospital. Like, I can come by. I was like, you weren't invited. Like, no one invited you.
Nor did you
like,
even ask me if I wanted something.
1,000%. Like, it was just like, yeah, so I can come pick you up. I was like, no, like, I'm in my pajamas. Like, I'm just trying to play it cool. But, like, still, like, you know, the hint of, like, no, I'm not. This isn't happening. Like, he was just like, no, it's no problem. Just send me your address. Like, it was just so creepy. I was like, no. Like, I really had to be like, I'm really not feeling well. Like, I don't want you to come by. It was, like, snowing outside. So he was like, no, it's okay. You can come out in your pajamas. We can just hang out in my car. I was like, wow, all of that is terrible.
So have you heard from him since? Or has he tried to contact you and pressure you?
Okay, so that was years ago. That was a few years ago. What ended up happening is, I don't know if he didn't have Instagram or we didn't have each other on Instagram. We had each other on Snapchat. And then, which I literally have 15 people on Snapchat. I could care less about it. It's just like, it's honestly more to like send my friends funny videos. Like I don't want any following on Snapchat. I could care less about it. And so he still had me on it, and I just never really paid attention. He was like always looking at my stuff. I don't care. I don't post anything like that on there. So I posted some selfie once, and it was literally me like at my office that I worked at, and I was wearing red lipstick and like a cheetah print like cardigan like up to here. He ends up sending me the selfie like, oh, I see what kind of girl you are, or some like text.
Oh, so he was just trying to like make you feel like you were kind of being like slutty, or
which was hilarious because I was wearing a cardigan like my grandma could wear. Like it was like a loose cardigan, like not unbuttoned, like literally up to my neck. Right. And I was wearing red lipstick, but like that was it. Like there was nothing scandalous about the picture. Right.
So with all that saying, have you found your Prince Charming? Are you seeing someone? Are you single?
I am seeing someone.
You are seeing someone.
I am.
All right.
After like 1,000 years of being single.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that he is the one?
All right. I'm like nervous to answer this. I'm like, what if he listens to this?
Girl, there's no names. We don't gotta worry about it.
I know, but he would know.
Well, just speak from how you feel.
Yeah, let me say,
in
like,
the moment.
I will say that I feel like he's a little bit older than me. It's
okay.
like, but not too old. It's like a good, like we're both at that point of like, we adore each other. It's just, it's so easy and like calm and feels right.
Mm-hmm.
that it's just totally different from like every other relationship I've had. Like there's no drama, and like I just feel like he's like my best friend. Like I love to talk to him. Like I love to tell him about my day. I love to tell him what's going on, and I just feel so like secure and like safe with him.
Well,
and that's the biggest
good.
thing.
That's awesome. I just know how hard it is for us girls that have stuff going on. We're independent. There's not really much men can do for us right now. I mean, yeah, dick is good, but you know, first of all, you need to have a nice big dick, or at least, you know, something that's going to do something for me, get me wet down there. And not only that, it's like, I got dildos, I have 10 dicks, I have fingers. Like, I don't really need you. But it's really about the connection that you're really having with somebody. It's the emotional connection that I think that men are lacking at this
100%.
day. I mean, they can fuck a mailbox. I mean, that's how I look at it. And we have and want things that it doesn't matter how much money you have, what you got going on, what you drive. At the end of the day, it's how you make me feel. And if this doesn't feel good, then I don't want nothing to do with it. So that being said, also, do you have any advice for girls that are dating out here in 2019 and with social media, or just what you've learned, and if there's any advice that you can give someone that is was in your position?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so much more than I could fit into like like that 2 minutes. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like just getting older. I know like when I was younger, there was so much like toxic behavior that I would put up with. That like, and part of that is just like you have to learn things the hard way, I think.
Right. Yeah.
But just like don't be afraid to like, as like a younger female, I know like a lot of us are taught to like kind of like be like these yes women and like accept a lot of things, but you can't be afraid to be alone, and not only to be alone, but just like don't be afraid to cut off someone who's toxic, like friendship and relationship, but especially relationship, because I don't think some of these like younger girls, they don't realize like, oh, but I love him, and like, but he says he loves me, and it's like, yeah, but love shouldn't be like dragging you down all the time. And like you know, I see some women that are now in their late 20s, early 30s, and they've missed out on like a lot in life, just like being with a toxic person that's like kind of ruined them, and like allowing that person, because like at the end of the day, like you can't keep blaming someone else for like where you are in your life. Like you have to take responsibility for it, and you have to like cut that person out of your life.
Right. Well, enough said. And Sasha, I just really want to thank you for being here. You did an awesome job. So that concludes our second episode of Kissing Frogs. Again, you can find us on kissingfrogspodcast.com. Also, my Instagram is tiffanyhill.334. Thank you, Sasha, again for being here, and all other streaming services for podcasts. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Kissing Frogs podcast is all about the fun side of dating the wrong people. Ever been on that really bad first date or dated a total douchebag? Well, instead of crying about it, laugh about it. Come share your stories on Kissing Frogs podcast and tell us if you made it through all these frogs and found your prince or princess.